Hello and welcome to Divine Encounters. Here, we share powerful testimonies of those who've died, fallen into comas, and witnessed the mysteries of the afterlife. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. By doing this helps us spread the gospel to the world.
I am Aston Adam Mbaya, and it has been 351 days since I was taken by the Lord to witness the depths of hell. When we left the chamber where souls were condemned for fornication and broken marriages, I saw countless souls reaching out, crying desperately to the Lord. "Lord, get me out of here," they pleaded, stretching their burning hands toward him. But Jesus looked upon them and said softly, "I do not force anyone to obey my word. They are here because of their own choices." I turned to him, shaken. "Lord, how can a God of love create such a place?" He looked at me with eyes full of sorrow and yet blazing justice. "Aston, being the God of love does not mean I am not the God of justice." Then the Lord took me to another chamber. Over its gate were written dreadful words, "The chamber of the condemned of the covenant." I asked, "Lord, what does that mean?" He replied, "You will see it for yourself." When we entered, I was struck by a sound that pierced my soul, the cries of millions. But these voices were not from grown men or women. They were the voices of babies and little children. I trembled. "Lord, these sound like the cries of infants." He said, "These are not the souls of aborted children you saw before. These little ones are here because of covenants made on their behalf." Then I heard laughter, a mocking, chilling laughter. I looked and saw a demon with skin like a crocodile, seated as if he were a mother caring for a baby. But instead of love, I saw horror. The demon was changing the nappy of a baby, but the nappy was filled with snakes, scorpions, and worms. When the demon placed it on the baby screamed in agony as the creatures bit into his flesh. And the demon whispered with mock kindness, "Don't cry, baby. This is your kingdom now." I fell to my knees, unable to bear it. "Lord," I cried, "he's just a baby. What has he done to deserve this?" The Lord answered, "This baby died when he was only 8 months old. But before he died, witchcraft had already defiled him." He continued, "One day his mother was drying his nappy in the sun. Her neighbor, a witch, saw it and grew jealous. She touched the nappy, placing a spirit of witchcraft upon it. When the mother dressed the baby with it, the spirit entered the child. That night, the witch called the baby's spirit into the coven. The baby, though only 7 months old on earth, became aware and active in witchcraft in the spirit world. The Lord showed me visions, this same baby's spirit flying at night, causing accidents and taking lives under demonic orders. Though a baby in the body, his soul was conscious and rebellious. When he died, Jesus said, his soul was judged for his deeds. The baby, burning and weeping, spoke with the voice of an adult. "Lord, I never heard your gospel. Why am I here? I lived only 8 months." The Lord replied, "Even those who have not heard my word are judged, for no defiled soul can enter my kingdom." Not far from him, I saw a placenta burning like a lump of red coal. Inside it, another baby was crying, worms devouring his body. "Lord, what about this one?" I asked. "When his mother was pregnant," said the Lord, "she received a blood transfusion. The donor was an occultist who later claimed the souls of those who received his blood. The spirit of the baby was taken into witchcraft before he was born. When the woman miscarried, the baby was already marked, and he fell into this place. As I walked further, I saw a bowl of boiling blood, and from within it a voice cried, "Why, Mother? Why have you done this to me?" The Lord explained, "This was a 3-month-old fetus. Her mother was a witch who vowed that her first child would join her in witchcraft. Even before the abortion, the child's spirit was already claimed. The cries around us multiplied thousands of babies, fetuses of weeks and months, all tormented, all condemned through the sins and covenants of their parents. Then I saw a formless mass, a baby still in early formation, her face unfinished. Yet she cried out, "O Lord, I am lost forever." I said, "Lord, she was not even born. What has she done?" The Lord replied, "Her mother, when pregnant, craved kaolin clay. Her friend, a witch, gave her some bewitched clay. Through that, the child was defiled in the womb. The mother later miscarried, and the child's spirit was already corrupted." Tears filled my eyes. "Lord, is there no mercy for them?" But Jesus said firmly, "Too late. No defiled soul can enter heaven. Tell the mothers, when they conceive, they must consecrate their pregnancies to me. Many fail to protect their unborn children. Through carelessness, they open the door for evil to enter their bloodlines." He continued, "Tell them to come to my servants in the church, to anoint their wombs and consecrate their unborn children with prayer and seed. Only then can the covenants of darkness be broken before birth." As the Lord spoke, I wept uncontrollably. Around me, thousands of babies cried, their small voices echoing across the fiery pits. Their pain was beyond words, a haunting symphony of innocence lost through the sins of others. Jesus turned to me with a grave expression. "Aston, tell the world, tell parents to guard their children, for even the unborn are targets of the enemy." And with that, we left the chamber. But even now, the cries of those children still echo in my soul. Life will never be the same again. As we stepped away from the chamber of the condemned of the covenant, I thought my soul could rest, but the Lord stopped and looked at me. "Aston, there is more you must see. Many are deceived into thinking the unborn and the very young are safe from the enemy. But the devil is cunning, he strikes early, before life has even begun in the physical world." He led me to another section of the chamber. Here, the cries were sharper, more urgent, and the air shimmered with dark energy. I saw rows upon rows of babies, some barely days old, writhing as spirits of witchcraft whispered into their ears. One tiny infant, only a week old, lifted his hands in desperation. His eyes, though infantile in body, were wise and knowing in the spirit. "Lord," I whispered, "how can they understand their torment?" Jesus answered, "They were given understanding by the enemy. The moment they were defiled, they became aware. In the spirit, they act as adults, accountable for every darkness they carry, even though the world sees only innocence." A surge of sorrow struck me as I realized. This was not only about the children, it was about the responsibility of the living. Every careless act, every covenant or curse left unchecked, rippled into eternity. I saw a mother standing far above the pits, holding a necklace with a small charm. She smiled innocently, unaware that her neighbor's dark whisper had cursed her child. That charm, meant for protection, had been twisted by witchcraft. The Lord whispered, "This child will walk a path of torment unless the parent repents, consecrates, and prays through a servant of God." Without intervention, the innocent are swallowed by darkness. Then I saw something that made me shiver. A baby, perhaps 2 months old, was being taught to speak words of cursing. His tongue, though tiny, moved as if reciting an adult incantation. "Lord, is there no way to save them?" I asked, desperation in my voice. Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder. "There is always a way, Aston. But it must be done before the child is touched by the enemy. Parents, priests, and prophets have the power to break curses, destroy covenants, and consecrate lives before they are born. Those who ignore this responsibility hand their children to the devil. The cries became louder, a chorus of lost innocence and broken potential. I saw babies reaching out to me, not in fear, but in a plea I could not ignore. "Aston, go back," the Lord said. "Tell the world what you have seen. Show them the urgency of prayer and consecration. Many think prayer is optional. Many think consecration is superstition. But the enemy works while hearts are distracted and blind." I looked once more into the chamber. I saw light piercing faintly through the darkness, in some corners souls of babies already consecrated by the prayers of godly parents, untouched by the enemy's hands. "Even one prayer can save a life," Jesus said. "Never underestimate the power of obedience." And then we left the chamber. I did not turn back again, though the cries echoed in my mind. The Lord's words burned in my heart. Protect the unborn. Consecrate the pregnancy. Break every covenant. Every life is precious and every soul is accountable in the Spirit. As I returned to the mortal world, I knew that my mission had changed forever. I would speak of the unseen, the spiritual battles that begin before birth, and the importance of guarding every child from the snares of darkness. Because the cries of those babies in hell, their innocence stolen, their spirits forced into rebellion, are not just a story. They are a warning. Life is precious. Souls are eternal. And vigilance is the price of mercy. After leaving the terrifying chamber of the condemned, the Lord took me to a different section of the spiritual realm. The air here felt lighter, though still thick with holiness and awe. Above the gate were golden letters that shimmered. The chamber of consecrated life. I hesitated. "Lord, is this really heaven?" Jesus smiled. "Not yet, Aston. But here you will see the power of faith, obedience, and consecration. Souls in this chamber are protected, even from the snares of the enemy." As we entered, I saw hundreds of babies floating gently, their faces calm and radiant. Unlike the screams of the previous chamber, these infants were peaceful, laughing and glowing with the light of God. One baby reached out to me. I could feel warmth emanating from him.